Has it started? Yeah. Hi, welcome to WG Apply. This is the 12th meeting on June 26th. Let's get started. We don't have any note in the meeting notes specifically to address yet, so I'll move to looking at the tasks and what we've done last week or this week. I don't think we want to. Do we want to talk about that now? I don't have an update on this.
You should collect things that were done in sprint 11.
Yes. Yes, let's look at the task and see what we've done.
I'm just here consulting, by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but you're a reticent baby, so.
Okay, set a default workflow ID. We've decided not to do that.
Oh, you decided not to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We talked with Jordan.
Okay.
And we think we shouldn't use the default as much as we can. And if there is a default, and if there is nothing set, then it's going to be one single default. And that's going to be as close as possible to the existing behavior.
Yeah. Do you get a different one if you use like the scale sub-resource? For that, I think you should get a different one.
So we're probably going to have kubectl set a default for kubectl.
I mean, there's no existing calls of
No,
scale.
I know. You mean in the existing kubectl?
Yeah. Sorry, we're talking about a hypothetical future world because you can't apply something to the scale sub-resource right now, correct?
Yes.
You can't.
Yeah.
Maybe you can. I think you can't though. For that, we're not worried about backwards compatibility as much as we are as making it make sense. For existing, like things that you can apply on now, I agree there should be one default. It should replicate the existing behavior.
Yeah. For sub-resource, I don't think the story is super clear.
Okay, we don't have to decide right now.
Yeah. So where do workflow IDs come from? That's kind of the same thing. We don't want to do too much. We don't want to be too smart there and fail. kubectl track down crash. I don't think this has been done. I don't expect it to be done soon since Sean is going to be on vacation at the end of the week. We expect the fallback to the old code path to be done by the end of the week, though. He promised he would do that before the end of the week.
So I should think it's done in the next sprint.
Yeah. This is not the most important. The trial on this one has been done, though. It's been LGTM approved and merged in the branch.
Great.
I don't have the PR number right now, but this has been done. Alpha version. This is not done. I think we're waiting for this the fallback strategy. That's about it. Jenny's tasks. I think a lot of these are blocked because David and Stefan looked at the code and they had comments.
Okay. Do you need me to look at that? Sounds like something I can do in a day.
Yeah, you could look at that.
Also,
have an opinion.
Also, Jenny was out on vacation. So.
Yeah. So of course this didn't move forward so much. I expect these to be moving this week. But yeah, you can help her decide what needs to be done. And then add driver and query param as an option. This is in progress. There is a pull request somewhere for master. This is not in a future branch, yeah. Yeah, so I think we have enough work for, I move this out. So the workflow ID thing, since, yeah, yeah, let's do it for better if we want to do it. So here's what we have for this week. We have 2 items on chart, which I think I'll remove these because we shouldn't expect these to be done. And I mean, I don't want anybody to spend too much time with working on the old code.
Yeah.
The fallback, so this should happen. Alpha, I wish we could announce the alpha this week. That'd be nice.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I think the focus is mostly going to be dry run. I'm trying to do all of these this week. So yeah, my main focus right now is dry run, of course. To give a status, I've created the options for update patch post create. I've plumbed it through completely, so it goes down to the layer before the storage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I've done.
Do you have feedback on those PRs?
I have feedback from Stefan, yeah, who says it's generally good.
Okay.
He posted a couple of comments, a few comments, which I've addressed already.
Okay.
So I'm hoping this should go in soon.
Okay, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's not a guaranteed thing at this point, but it's a good sign.
Yeah. I was happy to see that there is no. It's not blocking. It's not blocked. I'm starting to work on a new layer for the storage that is going to go in between with a new parameter, dry run, which is a Boolean. And it's either going to bypass and go to the normal storage, or it's going to do something different. For now, it's going to fail and say dry run is not supported. So I'm working on this specific layer to intercept the dry run requests.
Okay.
That's one thing, and the next thing is going to be working on the admission controllers.
Yeah, admission controllers. Okay.
So I think we have a good path on dry run. I'm curious what Jenny is going to do when she's done with this create and patch and create and update things. She might have the ability to work on extra stuff. So let's look at the list of things. That could be a good task. Save last applied on past. What do you think?
Sorry,
Save last applied on past. Is there any trap there? Don't we have to take just the object and save it?
So things I'm thinking about is just like practically how easy is that going to be to do. It does depend on having the correct workflow ID or a workflow ID that makes sense, right? It doesn't make sense to store it if you don't know what workflow ID to put it under. There is, like, we need to be aware of performance. Like somebody said at one point that they did that for Kubernetes and then took it out because it had
a
large negative performance penalty. So we need to be aware of that. I think something that we're probably going to have to do before release, if not before beta, probably before beta, is replace like right now we're storing it as a string.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have to switch and store that as likely in the same format that the object is in, but that is going to be a little tricky. So.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by that, but I'm probably easy to change.
So if you're talking about adding this in, then I think you need to I think now it's time to measure and see how bad it is.
So you think that we need to not save it as a string for performance reasons? That's your argument.
I think
Would it,
Well, for one, what's going to prevent users from sending a proto object to invoke apply in the first place?
yeah. But I mean, we decode the object and then, I mean, currently we specifically encode into JSON.
Yeah. So I think it should be it should be a map of string to runtime object, which could store either JSON or proto under the hood.
I don't mind. I just don't see why a string is not always good.
Well,
I don't understand that.
So the string representation, the JSON string representation is a lot more storage hungry than the proto representation.
Oh yeah.
It also takes a lot more computational time to decode.
Yeah.
So there's two wins proto has over JSON.
Right.
So
do we save the objects in protobuf in the database in etcd?
Correct. Yes.
We do. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Then yeah.
So I'm not saying like definitely work on it, but I think
we need to think about these. Yeah, I can take notes of that.
If we want to make progress that we're not going to have to redo later, then it might be time to like try it, measure, run some of the proof tests, see if it makes things worse or unacceptable.
These. That's probably a 3. So you think this is good to do now? I'm not.
That's probably a 13.
You think so?
I think it's not a 3. maybe it's a 3.
I hope so.
I'll be surprised if it's a 3.
Okay, I'll make it a 8. Doesn't really matter. Should I give that to Jenny? She's not here to disagree.
She's not here, so.
This is relevant today.
Yeah, boy, that's motivation to be at a meeting if I've ever heard of it.
I mean, she doesn't have to do that. The question, I think, is what's the most important to do next?
Yeah, I think
and you
still got a lot to do on Viron, right? Like you've got to rev the admission review API.
Should we split that into Jenny and I, or should we take different paths?
I suspect like one of you could work on the webhooks and one of you could work on the storage. Or
that's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I think there's probably enough stuff to do for that. You also need like tests. Like
who's working on the tests?
Yeah.
What tests?
I mean, ideally, people test the things that they write, but yeah, you need some sort of. I think you probably need an end-to-end test.
No, but I like the idea of splitting. Somebody does the admission controller, or somebody does the storage. If you want to get
like
this
you're close
out,
to having the storage done, or at least you've
started
that route. I think Jenny can probably do the admission webhook. It would be good to have.
Yeah, I don't see many conflicts between the two of us if we work on that. I'd be worried if we were like trying to do the same thing at the same time, but this is pretty different. So
yeah, those are pretty different.
Good. Okay, so I'll maybe move this out then. We don't have to do that now. And I change the name here. There we go. Actually, I move these because it's not very small. Okay, good. So I think we're good for the tasks this week.
Cool.
Are we missing something?
Was there anything to mention in the notes?
No. Nothing.
Maybe you want to mention that we discussed in the last API machinery meeting. Your document.
Oh yeah, that's true. Introduce trial during API machinery SIG meeting. I think that went well. We didn't have to change much, beside maybe changing the boolean to a string. which I'm not super convinced is going to be useful eventually, but it doesn't close any doors.
Yeah, it's not worse than a Boolean, and it's drastically easier to extend in the future.
Yeah, I agree with that. I've already changed my options in my code to be a string. We can discuss the string that
it should be
that
a
we want.
enum, right?
Yeah, what's the enum?
Enum, yeah.
So the way I've done it so far is that the enum has one value, and the value is named all, ALL, as in everything is dry run.
So the concept that we the concept that we think we want to disambiguate is tell me the final shape versus tell me if this will succeed, right?
There is like no, I don't completely agree. We maybe want to do some of the validation, but not all of it. Some people want to validate the object without validating, whereas maybe select specific admission controllers.
So we think the concept is object-focused validation versus outside state-focused validation.
No. Do we want the object back? I think we always want the object back. There is no reason not to get the object back, right? I think it's selecting the kind of validation that you want. I'm not sure the inside versus outside is what it is.
Okay, let's.
But it doesn't have to matter now.
Well,
yes, because we want to select the name of the option.
Yeah, we should decide which behavior we're introducing and which behaviors we might introduce in the future.
Yeah.
And we should have a name that survives contact with reality.
So the way I've seen it now is I selected all to say we try on everything. So it's going to be quotas, validation, merging. Everything that we can do is going to be done besides storage. If we go in finer grain later, then we can move away from all to specific actions.
I think the way I would, I think, so the user is calling this, we should make the parameter name make sense at the call site. So I think the thing that we want the value to highlight is the behavior that they're getting, not the actions that the server is taking.
Okay.
So we have to think of ways to compress those behaviors into like 2 or 3 word concepts.
Do you have any idea?
I think all is not a particularly intuitive name.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, we might go with like long words that you don't necessarily know what it means without consulting the documents. Evaluative versus transformational, or I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, the way I saw it was that, so it's going to be a string which is going to be potentially passed to every admission controller and every specific stage. And each stage is going to say, am I this or am I not?
Stages, I don't
and
know.
So like quotas is going to see, and it's going to be all. So yes, I run. It's going to, is it quota? No.
It can't work like that because we don't know what things like quota might be part of the system. Right? We can't list those things because we don't know what those things are.
Oh yeah, well, if we want to list as an enum, yes. If we want to allow random arbitrary strings, then it's different.
We know about the quota plugin, but users could do arbitrary things, including their own variations on quota in admission webhooks. So
yeah, but then it could be, the string could be all or validation or admission. I don't know what else, but see what I mean.
The thing is, I don't think that divides I don't think that gets us into the difference in behaviors, right? It's not that you don't want to run validating admission webhooks, it's that you want them to run, but only only erase certain failures.
So would we run them or would we not run them? We wouldn't run them at all.
No, I think we always run all webhooks and all built-in plugins and the built-in validation.
But we don't block on failures. Oh, that's a different
No, we have to
perspective.
pass it down to the webhook, and the webhook decides whether for this class,
Right, yes.
try run this error.
The webhook
blocks
receives
it or
the
not.
string
Yeah.
and decides.
We have to force the webhook to make the decision because we don't know what the webhook.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
But then what?
That's another reason why the flag has to be describing behaviors, because other people have to implement behaviors.
Yeah.
So I think some care taking the crafting the names is.
I don't want to spend too much time with the name. I don't want to be blocked because of a string, right?
Okay, maybe I can spend some time thinking about it today.
I mean, this is not going to block me. I can move forward, but and change the string later. But
We're almost out of time.
yeah, and I think we're done. Do anybody want to say something specific? Bye-bye. What happens if I click here? Nothing.